Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
The video has started to record. I'm sorry. What's up, gang? It's Ustad. What is on the class today? So basically, wait. I think I forgot something. This is not a public. This is my room. So just forget about the things behind me. And I think I should tear up this mask and leave it there. Okay, so Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. Greetings, Dr. Muhammad Rosli, and also my classmates. Hi, what's up? So basically, this is the presentation that for the group number 2, or for the elaboration or for the presentation for chapter 2 in the philosophy textbook. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I will try to not be lum or be so probably what we call in Malay membosankan, or in English boring. Yeah, I will start. So I would like to introduce myself. My name is Al Nur Haris bin Ahmad Fikri. I will introduce this presentation, or I would like to present to you guys about this chapter with my friends or my partner, which is Muhammad Kamarul Nizam and also Aida Batrisha. So I think we shall start right now. So the title of chapter 2 is Development of the Education System in Malaysia in a bracket post-independence. So I think I will use some of Malay language for those it is because for those who not so much understand in English, yeah, I will try to make yourself or make you guys understand more better, just as like what doctor said, make it simpler. So I will try my best. Sorry doctor if I being lum in this class or in this presentation. So I will having my phones in under this screen, so my eyes will be at pointing to the down. So yeah, forget about it. Just heard about this presentation. So the title is Development of the Education System in Malaysia by me, Muhammad Kamarul Nizam, and also Aida. First and foremost, the things that you learn in this chapter, first and foremost, is Rahman Talib Report 1960. Okay, continue. Rahman Talib Report 1960. The reason why the governments held this report or this act, which is named Rahman Talib Report 1916, is because government wanted to consolidate the education system in the country. So you must be thinking why the name of this report is Rahman Talib Report 1960. Yeah, you know, in 1960, the Minister of Education is Rahman Talib or Abdul Rahman Talib. So that's why the name of this report is Rahman Talib Report 1960. Did you learn anything about history? I think you have, but you must be forgotten because that is what you learn in Form 5, yeah? Yeah, so that is why the reason that is the reason for Rahman Talib Report 1960 held. So what is the task and responsibility? It is to review the implementation of national education policy contained in the Razak report. So the next task or this presentation task and responsibility is also to improve the education system in the Federation of Malaya. So the first and foremost, to review in the implementation of national education policy is, you know, in Malay we call pendidikan kebangsaan, falsafah pendidikan kebangsaan yang ada di dalam penyata Razak. And also to improve the education system is to untuk meningkatkan sistem pendidikan dalam Federasi Malaya. Okay, so what is the implication? Yeah, after being discussed in our group, we decided to give you guys these two implication, which is the implication of this Rahman Talib report is 1916 is to become the main medium of instruction in all school, besides being a prerequisites for potential students entering secondary school and teacher training college. Second is incentive were recommended to be given to those who work hard to obtain good grade in the Malay language. So, for the points number 2, those students who have worked hard to study hard, they must be recommended, and they also will obtain a good grade in the Malay language. So this is the incentive. Okay, so what is the recommendation of Rahman Talib report? There's a lot. I will read it for you and I will describe it to you. First and foremost, there is a free primary school education, which is in Malay tadika lah. So second, automatic promotion until Form 3. Yes, the students at 1916 will be give free the automatic promotion until Form 3. So the next point is introduction of Standard 5 assessment examination, which is something familiar like SPM. Fourth is to emphasize on moral education, pendidikan moral, to enhance of vocational and technical education. Yeah, at that time also they have sekolah teknik and also sekolah college vocational. Also, the point is to recommend the recommendation of Rahman Talib report also to teaching of Islamic education, which is it is held or prerequisites at least 15 pupils, which is 15 Muslim students. If they want to learn about teaching of Islamic education, they must have at least 15 students or 15 Muslim students in the class. Okay, so the recommendation also include monitoring of primary school by school inspector to ensure the teaching quality. So as you have been as what have you have done in the school, they have the teachers have the school inspectorate, which is the monitoring of primary school by school inspectorate to ensure teaching quality. Yeah, it's something like cikgu yang berada dalam kelas yang memerhatikan cikgu yang sedang mengajar. Yeah, so it's something like it's something like checking the students studies and what is the method and what is the is it the teachers are teaching correctly, so something like that. So the last is to emphasize on teaching teachers training program. Yeah, in 1960 also for Rahman Talib report, they also emphasize on teacher training program, which is college pendidikan or also maktab pendidikan ataupun maktab perguruan. Yeah, pusat latihan guru ataupun that is what we call in Malay. Okay, so that is the first thing, or that is the Rahman Talib report 1960. I hope so that you understand with that kind of presentation. Yeah, that is not a lot. I think, yeah, that is the recommendation of Rahman Talib report 1916. Okay, can we move to the second points, or with the second main point? Ngantuk ke? Relax, sabar. Okay, so second is Education Act 1961. Yeah, in Malay we call it Akta Pendidikan 1961. Yeah, Education Act 1961. Just Google Translate. I am not Google Translate, but I know. I hope so. As a university student, you also know. Okay, so the federal education aims to establish a national system of education, and it also to promote the cultural, the economical, and political advancement in this country. Besides, making the Malay language the national language. Yeah, in Malay, or if you translate in Malay, is try this Education Act makes the Malay language ataupun bahasa Melayu sebagai bahasa kebangsaan. So that's the medium, that is the language that we use in common school or common national language, or the common language that we use in the education. So the aspect of this Education Act 1961 is we have levels of education, primary education, secondary education, and also Islamic education. So we had elaboration of that aspect. Okay. Buka mata lah weh, buka mata lah, pasal apa dah mata yang sepek tu. Yeah. So sambunglah, that is something like a joke, lame jokes, sorry, terbalik pula. Okay, so the elaboration is levels of education. As we know, primary school education is the first one. Continue with the lower secondary school education, upper secondary school education, and also education in other institution, examples like college, teachers training college, and also university like us. That is the levels of education. Simple like that also, right? Just simple lah. Don't jangan menafikan lah. Benda tu senang je sebenarnya. Don't be lem-lem, okay? Nanti Prof marah. Prof nampak? Ada yang lem-lem yang tak faham. Yeah, so next aspect is primary education, which is the elaboration is it is compulsory for all children of school going age. At 1961, most of all parents don't want to send their children to go to school. Why? Because of points number 2, free for all. They didn't know that primary school education are actually free. So they think that they must pay some money or fees to their children to get some education. So that's why the Education Act 1961 aspect or the recommendation had the free for all, which is free for children to go to the primary education. Yeah, you know that they think that they must pay, so they don't go to school. So by reviewing, so or also by giving bagi tahu something like if they go to school, don't need to pay any fee. Sorry, I'm being lem right now because my brain cannot process. I use a lower version of Google Translate. And also the third point is offered in a national school and national type school. In bahasa Malaysia, we call national school sekolah kebangsaan, and national type school is sekolah jenis kebangsaan. Tak tahu hang memang lem punya student. Okay. Jangan marah. So, continue for the next point or the next aspect is secondary education. So the elaboration is like this. Offered in following types of school, which is first normal lower secondary, second normal upper secondary, which is standard 1 until standard 3, standard 4 until standard 5. That is the first 2 points. I think sorry. Normal lower secondary, which is standard school, and also normal upper secondary, which is sekolah menengah. Okay, so we also have the trade school, technical school, sekolah teknik, vocational school, sekolah vocational, teknik vocational, and also we have secondary by approval by Ministry of Education, which is us, the university students. Okay, so for the Islamic education, or which is the last aspect uh, in Education Act 1961, it's only offered if there were more than 15 pupils Muslim, or 15 Muslim pupils. Imagine if there's a 15 number student of Muslim, they will having they will be and then will be able to have Islamic education. And also the elaboration is also taught by a trained by agama teacher. Yes, of course, if you want to learn Islamic education, you must have a agama teacher. You cannot send a mathematics teacher to taught them agama. You cannot send them a science teacher to teach them agama teacher. Say to teach them an Islamic education, okay? And also the elaboration for the last Islamic education aspect, it is 2 periods a week school hour. So basically, if you have done, or you have and you have experience in the school, yeah, there is a 2 periods a week a school. You will learn about agama at least 2 times a week, 2 class a week, 2 days a week. Okay, so that is my point. That is my points, or that is my part of elaboration. I hope that you will understand. I hope that you can apologize with me with the lame jokes, all the lame jokes, all the grammar mistake, all the English pronunciation that will be wrong, that would be wrong. I am very sorry. So I will pass it to the next presenter, to my friends, which is Muhammad Kamarul Nizam, and proceed it to my last friend member of this group, which is Aida Batusha. So gang, remember what I taught to you. Don't be lem, make doctor proud. You better do that, okay? Assalamualaikum. Go to Kamarul now.
Thank you, Arif. Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. My name is Muhammad Kamarul Nizam, and I'm going to presenting my part, which is about Hussein on Report 1971. So, Hussein on. Everybody knows Tun Hussein on, right? He is our former third prime minister from 1976 to 1981, and we call him as Father of Unity or Bapa Perpaduan. Hussein on Report 1971, led by Hussein on, the then Malaysian Minister of Education. So basically, it was led by Allahyarham Tun Hussein bin Dato' On himself, who's at the time were Minister of Education. He's not a Prime Minister yet at those time. At the time, our Prime Minister is still Allahyarham Tun Abdul Razak, if I'm not mistaken, from 1970 to his death at 1976, 6 years. So, the objective of this committee is to provide a basic education for all children of school-going age. So basically, the main aim of the report was to restudy the national education policy so it can provide education to all children in schooling age that can be accommodated in Malay, Chinese, and Tamil stream school. Y'all know what is basic education, right? Primary school, secondary school, that is basic education. So this committee was to make sure that all children of school going age starting from 7 years old will get the basic education. Nobody's left behind. Everyone must have basic education. That's what this committee is about. And so, as a reminder, the medium of instruction in all government and government-aided school at that time were in English and Malay language, which means that before this report, the medium of instruction is still in English. Everything is in English and then Malay. But after this report, according to Sin-On Report 1971, the national system of education is designed to meet the country's needs and to promote culture, social, economic, and political development. Beginning 1968, the Malay language will progressively replace the English language as the medium of instruction in all English medium schools. It means that The Malay language will replace the English language as the medium instruction. So everything is in Malay now. Although the status of the English language will maintain as a second language despite Malay language as the main medium of instruction in country's education system. It means that they'll still teach English and English is still important as a second language. The rationale behind this policy is explained in the statement below. We are very much aware of the importance of the English language as an international language and how mastery of it can promote national advancement. The English language is compulsory in all schools because of its importance in higher learning as well as in international affairs. Therefore, our national target is for a high level of mastery of the English language. Hussein on Report, 1971. It means that even though Malay language had replaced English as the medium of instruction, the English language will still continue as the second language and is as important as Malay language. They're still taught it in all schools because it's important for higher education, trade, and international affairs, so they can communicate. In addition, this report proposed that time allocated for teaching of English language will be increased and teachers also given the necessary training in order to produce good results. I think that's all from me. Guess we'll go to the next one. Aida, it's all yours. Thank you.